So welcome everybody to our Tuesday night team chat, and we are very honoured to have the beautiful Catherine Keely as our guest tonight. So Mel, thank you very much for organising that. Before I let you guys get going with everything, I just want to run through our recognition for the week ending Christmas, so the 25th of December. So our top enrollers were Ben and Jade, Jess and Adam White, Karen Droost, Sue Herments and Amanda Ayres. Our top cyclers for week of the 25th of the 12th were Narelle and Richard, Michelle and Brian, Jade and Ben, Megan Gasket, Jerry and Narelle, BJ Wood, and Jackie Bishop, Lainey Seddon, who else do we have? Clint Burdett, Steve McNamara, and that is it for that week. And then we had first timers, so we had first time enroller of Amanda Ayres. So congratulations for all those guys for being in action for what was obviously generally a really busy week of life of Christmas. And then remembering that we have amazing events coming up. So we have New Year kickoff happening in Adelaide and Auckland on the 14th of January. We have New Year kickoff happening in Perth and Launceston on the 15th of January. Melbourne and Sydney kicking off on the 21st of January. And we have Narelle and Richard and the guys up in Sunraysia have organised a New Year kickoff for the first time up there on the 28th of January. So get to one, get to all, get to a few. But we know how much events really do help, again, with all areas of belief, and just really help people understand exactly what Isagenix is all about, especially the support community that comes behind it. So that's me. I'm all done, Mel. So handing over to you, lovely.
Perfect. Thank you. So yeah, I just wanted to obviously to thank Catherine as well for joining us today. It's still today here. It's not quite tonight. Before we hear from her, I just wanted to touch on how and why I came about knowing her. So at my very first Isagenix event was Isa Uni, and we sat there watching, and I was sitting next to Lisa, and we sat there watching this amazing video, and I sat in awe for a little while, just listening to this story, and then all of a sudden I was sitting there in tears listening to this story, and Lisa was like, she's getting this, like, it's something sinking in. I was like, this girl is telling my story. She's got my feelings, my emotions, everything that she's said there. Like, that's me. It's my story. So I made it sort of my mission to introduce myself to Catherine and just absorb all of her amazingness. I guess what the part, and I'll post her video in our group later tonight. I guess what stuck with me was the fact that she was the youngest. I'm also the baby, but she was the biggest in the family as well, and that was that hasn't always, it has been me. My sister is my big sister, but we call her my little sister because she's so much tinier. So that's just how inspiring she is to get me into tears. Like my first ever event was huge. Now I'm in tears every event because there's always some amazing story. So Catherine, is it all right if you share your story with everybody?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for having me on. I love getting asked, to do these team calls. It's always a real joy. So thank you. Wow, I didn't realise that was your first event. Was that Isa Uni in Melbourne?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So I was actually first introduced to Isagenix at my friend's wedding, October 2011. And wrong time, wrong place. So I said no to my friend for pretty much bang on 12 months. And she just kept following up with me, and she's like, I think it'll be really great. And You know, I just had all my walls up. I think the first thing I said was, "Is there shakes?" And she was like, she couldn't even get through the word yes. And I was like, nah, no, I'm good, thanks. I just don't do shakes. And but I started seeing these other people who were friends of ours, you know, and it was working. And I'm like, oh, God damn it. So it was end of September the following year. So end of September 2012, where I finally said yes. She got me on a 3-way call with Emily Tonkin, and we had a really good chat. And I thought, well, all right, what have I got to lose? Really, really skeptical. Didn't think it was going to work. And lo and behold, it started working. I was like, oh God. So just to give you a background, I'd been overweight my entire life. So you know, childhood obesity, you know, was the fat kid in primary school, continued to really struggle with my weight all through high school, really blew out in year 12, you know, just from the stress of HSC, you know, just eating really bad food. And yeah, and I actually believed that it was just the way that I was. You know, when you're told your entire life that you know, that's just the way that God made you, and we love you just the way that you are, and you know, it's okay that you're big, you know, you're in proportion, it's fine. When inside, like I felt like it was I was being punished. Like I was like, well, who is this God who would make this? You know, like what? He must be an absolute asshole. I mean, to the point where, I mean, I grew up Catholic and stopped believing in God because I just decided that God wouldn't do this to me if he was really real. That's actually how real it got for me. And yeah, so I had a complete disconnection with my body. Basically, it was just this lump that I had to deal with that carried my head around, carried my brain around, and that was the only connection that I had with my body. And so when I went to university, I started to make some attempts, you know, and I started eating better and was going to the gym, and I lost 23 kilos, but it took me about 10 years. And I was like, okay, well, that's as good as I'm going to get, and that's it, you know. I'm still overweight. I'm still really big, you know. I was still about, you know, 90 odd kilos, and I was like, this is about as good as it's going to get, and I just had to kind of accept that. And so when I started using isogenics and the weight started coming off, I was just like, I couldn't believe it. And then actually my first event was an ISA uni. It was in Brisbane in July 2013. We didn't even have any events in Melbourne back then. And I remember flying up to Brisbane. I'd never been to Brisbane before. I stayed in a hotel by myself. I was like, what am I doing? I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know anything about the company. I was like, I've just spent all this money, and I've flown up to Brisbane. I'm saying, you know, what the hell am I doing? And that event completely changed everything for me. I was watching some of the IsaBody winners from the year before, and their stories to get, you know, same as Mel, like just blew me away. And I just was like, wow, just I couldn't believe it. And at the end of that event, Emily Tonkin and a few others, they just, Catherine, you just have to register for the IsaBody. I was like, why would I register for it? Like, that's preposterous. Like, that's stupid. Like, no, of course I'm not going to do that. And they pretty much cornered me, and they were like, Catherine, like, you just have to enter. You would just be incredible. You know, like, we've got so much faith and belief in you. And for the first time, I mean, I don't ever remember people getting around me and encouraging me to do anything. And I was really kind of taken back, and I thought, all right. And so I got home from that event, and I registered for the IsaBody. And then, yeah, and then basically that's history, really.
Love it.
Yeah, well, yeah. So So back the competition's a little bit different now. So back then they only had one competition for the whole year, well, one challenge for the whole year, and so I won the weight loss category for 2013. So, and now they have 3 challenges a year, which is awesome. Yeah, it's so good.
And the extra prizes that we were chatting to you about before as well. So it's all.
Yeah, and that's what's so good about Astrogenics. You know, they just continue look for ways to, you know, acknowledge you more, give you more prizes. You know, make success just easier for you. So, yeah.
So I guess on the IsaBody challenge, because as I said to you earlier, that we've also just kicked off our New Year Kickstart type thing, and as our IsaBody challenge started yesterday.
Awesome.
So what, going from like I'm not going to enter and that's preposterous to winning, what did it take for you to get through that 16 weeks? How did your mindset change from whatever to?
Sure. Yeah. Good question. So I'd been using the products for a little while at that stage, and I think what happened to me was that shift when I registered for that IsaBody. It sort of shifted my mindset. Rather than just using the products was kind of not really sort of any end date or any kind of goal in mind. All of a sudden I had like this time frame, and it was long enough for me to really go for it and make a change, but also short enough for me to go, oh, I can see the finish line. And that's what I really love about the 16 weeks. It's I feel it's a really perfect amount of time for really amazing transformation. And I already lost 10 kilos, and I was like, am I even going to lose any more weight? And I lost another 11 kilos through that challenge. So I think what happened obviously is, I'd say there was a number of elements that were sort of contributing to it. And obviously, you know, when you're feeding your body these incredible nutrients and these minerals, and you know, you're feeling better, you've got more energy, you know, you just, you know, you're more balanced, like you're just in a better mood, you're just feeling happier. And so obviously then, you know, the way in which I started talking to myself, I was noticing just that internal dialogue was starting to shift. And I was like, wow. And I just remember, obviously at the start of it, you know, I was doing less exercise at the start of it to what I was at the end, because obviously, you know, as you get fitter and stronger, you're able to do more and more, and you have more energy, and then you just naturally want to do more and more. And I think the desire to change was stronger than my desire to stay the same. And I automatically just started finding it easier, not really saying no to things, like, you know, I wasn't saying no to beer or no to chocolate or no to cake. I was actually just started saying yes to my outcome. And so that way it wasn't hard for me to make better choices. I just naturally, there was a natural desire and inclination to avoid temptation, because I was committed to the outcome. And it was a process. And I just had to start being my own cheerleader. And, you know, so I'd be going to classes, or, you know, I'd wake up at, you know, 5:30 in the morning, and then that voice of go back to bed became softer than the voice of, come on, Catherine, just go to the gym. And so I just started turning the dial. It just, of course, you know, that voice is still going to be there, like, I'll just go back to sleep. It was like, well, actually, no, I'm actually going to get up and go to the gym. And so, you know, I was just turning the dial up on my cheerleader, and I just started backing myself. And, you know, of course, when you start seeing the results, you become excited, and you know, you're like, well, what's possible next month? What's possible next month? Then I think if you break it down to four 30 days, is much less daunting than 16 weeks. So you just sort of break it down, you know, week by week by week, and you'll just astound yourself at the end. And because I would take a photo, you know, every month, and it wasn't until I put the two photos together, I'd be like, what? For real? And I'd be like, you know, because you almost sort of don't believe it, you know, because the products they just work so well, basically. So I would probably, if I'm going to summarize that, really be kind to yourself. You know, to make it through the 16 weeks, you've got to really be kind to yourself. Break it down to four 30 days, you know, and just take it 30 days at a time. And rather than thinking about, oh, well, I have to say no to the things that I like, just actually say yes to your results. Because once you say yes, if you keep saying, yes, I want the results, yes, I want the results, you'll just automatically turn down the temptations. And you know, I had my birthday during it, you know, of course, like, you know, I had a piece of cake, you know, you still have to be kind to yourself and have balance, but then, you know, still be committed to what you're up to. Yeah.
Love it. I love that. I love say yes to your goals, not to temptation. I like that. Not saying no, saying yes to yourself. So when we were chatting earlier, you I know, like, we chatted about how off track you can get in your sort of journey from, you know, your first 30 days through to, you know, 3 years, 4 years, you know, 5 years. And you get the mindset where, you know, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to do a 30-day cleanse. I'm going to do a 30-day cleanse. So how do you go now with that mindset in that kickstart? As a lot of us have done that. This is our reset. So how do you go about hitting that reset button in your mind?
Yeah. I'm actually going through this myself right now, you know, going through another reset. And I think what we really need to acknowledge is, you know, we are all human beings, and, you know, life does happen. And so, like, you'll talk to anyone, right? And they'll have months where they're maintaining. They might have months where they're, you know, really in transformation. And then they might have months where, like, it's a total blowout. And often what you'll see is whatever's going on in your life is kind of mirrored in how you're going with your, you know, with your isogenics journey. And well, I noticed for me, it's kind of like, if one thing, it's kind of like that domino effect. If you sort of let one thing go, you know, it's that domino effect. And all of a sudden you're off your cleanse, you're not exercising, you're eating badly. But then if you look at all the other areas of life, everything's kind of fallen over as well. And so what I often do for a reset, especially on day one of a cleanse at the moment, is I get myself through a double cleanse, commit to 5 shake days and another double cleanse. So it, you know, kind of like a 9-day. And I find by the end of that, I'm totally back on the wagon. So initially, yes, it's like, all right, let's just get through that double cleanse, and all automatically, like that first shake after that double cleanse, you feel reset. You feel like you've pressed the reset button, and you're like, okay, I'm going to get through 5 shake days, and I'm going to nail it. And then you know, it's like those little wins, and then you're great, and you're awesome. Well, I'm going to follow up with another double cleanse, and I reckon by the end of that, you're back on the wagon for sure. And then get yourself registered in an IsaBody for sure. And really, you know, you've got to have that conversation with yourself. You know, decide. You know, rather, you know, just make that decision. Okay, cool. I'm in it. I'm registered. I'm doing it, and just make one decision to commit to your IsaBody challenge. You know, and about, you know, and having integrity to your word. So rather than every day deciding, oh, am I going to follow the program or not? just make one decision that you're going to follow the program. And as I was saying to you before, it's when you start sort of making up your own rules. It's like, I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do like the Catherine version of it. So rather than doing what it says, maybe I'll have, I'll just make up my own way. And we know that, when we follow it in letter and spirit, when we follow it to the T, it works. It's a system. It's designed to work. And of course, as Lisa would understand, depending on your training and depending on your results, you might have to tweak it for the specific results that you're after, but commit to that. So, I mean, yeah, that's how I do a reset. And I'm basically going, I'm day one of my reset now, and so I'm going to be looking at
okay. Love it.
And yeah, and I'm just about to re-register for my IsaBody as well. And so I'm exactly at the same point as what you guys are. I'm with you.
Yeah, perfect. I love it. So in the video that you made for your first IsaBody challenge, you mentioned that you were finally in control. Do you want to just sort of talk into that a little bit with in how you got to that control point?
Yeah. And that's probably because because I thought that my weight it wasn't within my control. I thought this body was the way my body was, and I didn't have the ability to change it. And so obviously when I went through that transformation, it was like, wow, I am actually in charge of what my body looks like, how my body runs. I am the master of this vehicle. This is my machine, this is my temple. But I didn't have the tools, and that's what Isagenix has really given me is, it's like you've got this toolbox, right? And you can create anything, and we've seen it. You can see it. There's so many different types of transformations that are out there, and there was this real sense of ownership and personal responsibility. It's like, wow, okay, obviously I trusted the products and I put them in my body and I allowed them to go to work on me, but with that personal responsibility and and witnessing and being the driver of that transformation, it was like, wow, I actually have complete control over how my body looks, how my body functions, and that just gave me so much power and freedom. And so now obviously, because I've been maintaining and I've been human, like I've had months at a time where I've started really getting that athletic physique, and then kind of maintaining, and then sort of falling off for a bit, and then hitting the restart button. I mean, it's it's been four and a bit years now. You're going to have those normal ebbs and flows, as life is coming at you. But I've never felt concerned, because I've got that toolbox, and I know at any moment, as long as I have the desire and the commitment, and the commitment to what I'm choosing for myself, I can always be in control of my weight. At any moment, I can take control of my weight and my body, and that's why I'm really excited about doing another IsaBody, and really committing to it and going, all right, body, like, let's see what we can do. Let's work together.
Yeah, love it. Perfect. So you touched on the community when you first signed up with the IsaBody challenge with Emily and some others, sort of cornering you and lifting you up to feel like you could do it. How has the greater Isagenics community, through events and through, meeting others, and obviously now with Facebook and all the groups and things that we have, how has that helped your journey along?
Yeah. Well, I suppose firstly I would say is, anyone that has, a significant weight issue, that, there's going to be reasons why, so I work in, I'm now working sort of in my healing work, and there's always a reason why that person is carrying that weight. And you've also got to, look at there's likely to be a significant amount of, issues around self-worth, worthiness, self-love, and, and obviously, a lack of belief in themselves. And when you're carrying a lot of weight, you're actually hiding, you're hiding from the world and you're hiding from yourself, because when you're carrying that weight, you're automatically, you discount yourself from engaging with life. And so the Isagenics community really put belief in me when I didn't have any belief in myself. And like I said, in that moment where I was like, some of these people don't even know who I am, and here they are, encouraging me and supporting me and pouring all this love and belief into me. And initially it's like, wow, like, you kind of want to reject it, because you don't get that everywhere. You really don't. It's something really, really special. And so, and throughout the start of my cleansing journey, if I didn't have Emily, and a few of those others, constantly, checking in and making sure that, how I was going, it is, all those old programs, whatever, your old self-sabotage is going to come in. And so everyone's going to have their own stuff around sabotage and belief, and that's why I loved the Healthy Mind and Body program. And that they didn't have that obviously when I was going through my journey. So I was seeing kinesiologists and other people just to help me with my mindset, because all of a sudden, like, you are this, this, you stop identifying with your body, and obviously, like, the photos are really exciting, and you're like, wow, like, you sort of stare at it and go, is that really me? Because in your mind, you're like, I'm still fat, I'm still picking up the wrong sizes on, in the change rooms. And I remember, like, having, like, meltdowns in the fitting rooms. I'm like, you okay for sizes? And I'm like, no, like, because it was too big, and when you've gone your entire life picking up the biggest item of clothing on the rack, hoping that it fits, most of the time not fitting, to then, like, trying on, like, the large or medium and it being too big, it's so important to have that network around you, when you're going through such big transformations. And I'm so grateful for the Isagenics community, for really pouring in that love and support. It's that's really what makes this company. Like, yes, the products are amazing, but it is the people, and it is something very, very special that we have here. And it's something that you can't experience, on Facebook. You can kind of feel it, maybe on a Zoom call, but until you go to an event, you really can't feel it. But like that, those events, especially, I mean, the community run ones are awesome, but you've got to get yourself to a corporate run event, like an RC Uni or a Uni in Action or Celebration or something like that, because that's the moment when the penny drops, and you're like, I get it now. This really is about impacting world health. From the grassroots up. It's really about community and support. And I honestly have of the Isagenics community to thank. I really, really do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's they say, events are where it happens, and that's so true. You touched on your healing there a little bit. I've come to see you, so I know how amazing you are. How has Isogenics impacted that for you? How has it allowed you to follow your dreams, away from a 9-to-5 office job, or away from what you were doing? How has the Isogenics helped with that?
Oh, so much. So when I started Isogenics, so my background is music, and I was working at uni. I was working full time, and I was playing in bands. I was doing my masters, and I was working full time at a university. And I applied for a car loan. It was like just a Honda Jazz. I don't know, like a $16,000 car. And I couldn't get financed for it because they said I didn't earn enough money. I was like, I'm already working full time. I can't actually earn any more. And I remember crying in my boss's office, just like, oh my God, like, what have I done with my life? Like, it was a really, really scary moment. And I thought, wow, like, if I can't even get a car loan, how am I going to afford to have children or get a mortgage? And just a sinking feeling. And and I knew Emily and some other, Suzanne, and there's other people were doing well at Isogenics, but I was like, oh, well, I couldn't do that. It's great for them, but I could never do it. And again, obviously, you went to some events, and I was like, wow, this is real. This is a real business. This is a real thing. And so, parallel to me thinking of, like, what was I thinking being a musician? Alongside that, obviously, I was going through my cleansing journey and my transformation, and I was really disconnected from basically the neck down. Like, I had no relationship with my body at all. It was just this burden that I just had to deal with. And obviously, as I started transforming and changing, it was quite an emotional experience for me as well. We store memory in our cells, right? And so as we're cleansing on a cellular level, that emotional toxicity gets released as well. So I don't know if, sometimes we get a bit flat or moody or emotional or whatever, on a cleanse day. I was having like complete like waterworks, like projectile crying out of my eyes kind of thing. And, but there was so much deep, profound healing, and I was having the kinesiology, and I was having to really come to terms with the fact that I was changing. And I'd always been interested in healing, and obviously, I was seeing a kinesiologist, and I was just totally blown away by the modality. So after Celebration 2014, after I'd won IsaBody, I decided then that I was going to leave my office job and wanted to go down the road of doing healing work. And so really what Isogenics has allowed me to do is completely change careers. And so now, I'm doing healing work full time now, as well as my Isogenics business. And it's really given me that freedom and flexibility to come into alignment with what I'm here to do. And I love that that Isogenics just fits so beautifully into that. And there are so many healers, Reiki healers, obviously massage therapists, naturopath nutritionists, people in the holistic realm who are naturally being attracted to this because it's so pure and it's so potent, and because it works on a cellular level. I don't know if you guys are into your crystals. The water, especially the water in the products in ionics are actually charged with clear quartz. It's amazing. Like, I don't know if you've seen pictures of John Anderson's crystals. Oh my God, I was just like, I nearly fainted because that there's so much just magic and beauty in the products that just goes on a whole nother level. You know, vibrationally, the products are just so high vibration that naturally, you know, healers are being drawn to it. And again, that was a real confirmation for me. You know, going on that path, like again and again, like, wow, you know, this is something different. This company really is. There's something really special about this that you don't find anywhere else. So, absolutely, IsaGenics was responsible for me tapping into my own gifts in terms of reconnecting to my body, allowing me to heal my body, and also financially allowing me to change careers. So it's been incredible.
Love it. Perfect. Thank you. So as Narelle asks, then we might just open up the call. So Lisa, you able to take everyone off mute or just one at a time? If anyone's got any questions or anything for Catherine while we've got her, you know, please jump up and ask away.
Hi, Catherine. Thanks for being on the call. How many IsaBody challenges have you actually done? Was that, you know, have you done a few since, you know, in the last 5 years?
Actually, I was trying to remember how many when I was chatting to Mel before. I'll have to count them. I think it's about maybe 6. And I'll be totally honest. Some of them I've completed, some of them I haven't. And like most of them I've completed. You know, some of them I've gotten better results than others. And that's a really good question, and something that Mel and I were talking about before. Hang on just one sec.
So
she said, hang on one second. What makes him continue?
I'm just sorry. So something that Mel and I were talking about before is you know in your first month when you just launch into it, you've got no idea what you're doing, and then your results are incredible, and you're like, wow, that was amazing. And then you try and do it again, and then all of a sudden it's like, and same with the IsaBody, you know, like I launched into another one, and it I was always comparing myself to my first IsaBody, you know, and that's what often people do, or they'll compare themselves to their first 30 days. And all of a sudden, when they try and repeat it, there's all this expectation and attachment on this is how it's supposed to look, and this is how it's supposed to do. And then you start getting critical of yourself, and you have a completely different experience. And so I think, you know, for those people who have already done an IsaBody, you know, really, when you're going into this one, go in with complete detachment. You know, obviously set your goals, but don't compare yourself to how you've been before, or don't compare yourself to your first 30 days, and really, jump in with that beginner's mindset, that beginner's energy of, you know, as if this is the first one, and experience it for the first time. And I find with that, you know, because there's so much joy in the unknown, and if you go in there with expectation and attachment, you're going to end up comparing yourself and starting into getting cycles of judgment and criticism.
Yep. And did you, you know, through your IsaBody, you said you started some and didn't finish some. Did you have anyone to keep you accountable? Because, like, I suppose what we were sort of set up is we've got about 50 odd people, I think, registered to do the challenge that started yesterday. Mm-hmm. And you know, we're pretty much setting up so we're holding each other accountable, and we've built like a bit of a community, I suppose. So we catch up once or twice a week. So everyone's holding each other accountable, and then I suppose what we've broken down as goals, you know, so achievable goals over, say, 4 weeks. So broken it into 4 chunks, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's really good. And yeah, you know, I reckon the couple of challenges where I didn't complete them, I definitely didn't have any accountability. I was out there on my own and just thinking, oh, I've done this before. I can do it. It's all good. And yeah, you know, and I had no one to keep me to account. I probably was being, you know, I wasn't really connected to my goals. And because I remember in that first IsaBody, you know, even though I didn't know what my body was capable of achieving, because, you know, I'd never experienced that kind of weight loss before. But I set goals around what I could measure, you know, which was what was I putting in my mouth, and what was I, you know, how was I moving my body, and how was my mindset, you know. So I could set goals around that and just really allow myself to enjoy the results and enjoy the progress. So absolutely, get yourself an accountability buddy, and, you know, whether you've got something in the Facebook group where once a month, you know, at the end of that month, everyone does their before and afters, and, you know, so that you can all really acknowledge each other and congratulate each other.
Yeah, we're doing it fortnightly.
I'm
Awesome.
feeling like that wasn't my idea, Catherine. It's just him and I doing these photos fortnightly. I'm so excited.
Yeah. but you know, the thing is, it's once you put them all together, once you put all you know, the sequence together, you know, that's when you see the whole picture.
I like that. That's good. Now I'm motivated to do that. Thank you.
Yeah, it'll be great for you know, if you do a little video or do a little, like, sort of time lapse. Yeah.
Did you write an essay?
Yeah, no, everyone has to write an essay. It wasn't even my idea to do a video. It was Emily Tonkin's idea, and I thought it was a really great thing to do because there was kind of like no proof, you know, like my before and after photos were like, you know, I'd lost 11 kilos, but they did not tell my story. And my IsaBody essay told my story, but there was kind of no evidence. So I just rang my mum. I was like, can you just, like, scan a bunch of photos of me from, like, I don't know, my life and email them to me? And actually, and I still remember the day of opening all those photos on my computer, and that's when it sunk. I was like, oh my God. And the sort of the gravitas of what had really happened didn't actually hit me until I made that video. And it took me so long to make it because I was trying to put it together and I was just crying.
Catherine, how did you upload the video? How did you use that?
So I just that
was for your IsaBody challenge completion? You used it for that? Yep. Okay. Sorry. Yep. I just
So I just sent it in as like additional supportive documentation. I just emailed it to them separately and just let them know that I had done that. So maybe you can always send in supportive documentation if you want to. And I just, like, you can just email the IsaBody ANZ.
And you could get creative, and I guess they'd look more at creative entries rather than an essay and photos, because of, what is it, 50% essay or something like that? Like it's
50% essay and 50% photos. So you definitely you know, dedicate a lot, you know, time to your essay, and because people often, they'll just leave it to the end and they'll just, you know, type it up, give it one read over and go, that'll do.
Done that.
Where you know, you really want to spend time on your essay, and really be raw and really vulnerable and really authentic. And you really want to leave them moved, by your essay. So
and the video as well.
If you can do a video, obviously, that's great. But people, many people have done it without a video. The reason why I suppose I did it was because just for them to actually to really capture my story, which even though I expressed it through the essay and I expressed that quite emotionally, there was still no they couldn't really get it until they seeing me in primary school, as overweight as I was, and that continued. It was, they got to really capture the whole story, and yeah.
Got you. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Do you have any more?
No, we'll let someone else ask.
Okay, we'll mute now. We're Catherine,
so
we'll mute.
That's all right. I was going to say, Narelle, what you could even do is, what might be cool is, maybe even wear like the same outfit. Like if you're taking those photos every fortnightly, take them against the same background and with the same outfit.
I always tell everybody else to do this, but I don't do it.
She was going to go nude.
I wasn't. I was not doing that. You made that up. You made that up. Anyway, yes, that is great. Thank you for that. That's a great tip. I needed reminding.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I was never scared. I was never scaring anybody. Jesus.
Well, I mean, I didn't even. I think when I took my first photos, I didn't even own a bikini or like sports top. So all of my photos are in my underwear, and now I really wish I'd done that differently.
I used to say, and I think I still say, wear something that you're not going to cringe at if you post it on social media later on.
Yeah.
Wear something that you can see, but not cringe. Like a skin-coloured, lacy, ugly bra. Like no one wants. And big undies, the real mummy yuck undies. Those ones, yeah. Don't do your befores in those. Just a tip.
Wear your $60 ones.
Oh, yes.
Anyway, we're muting now.
Does anybody else have any questions before we let Catherine go? I did post Catherine's photos of her transformation with her weights on the bottom, and she never used to post things like that with her actual weight on there. So if anyone's got any questions about how she looked amazing from the middle photo on that to that final photo where she actually put on, I think, about 10 kilos of muscle, I think, about that in those before and afters. I'm sure she'll be able to touch on that too.
I'm interested in that too.
Yeah. Well, interestingly, I took that photo at the end because I had been at the gym and I had weighed myself, and I actually flipped out. I was like, I was like, oh my God, like, what have I done? Like, and again, because I'm not really visual. Like, I have to actually take the photos and I have to put them next to each other and like actually look at them, and I remember taking that photo because I was like, oh my God, I've just completely undone all my work. What have I done? And I couldn't rationalize it in my head. And then when I put the photos next to each other, I was like, I actually put that together for me because I didn't get it. I didn't put it together for anyone else. And it was that. I was again in shock. It's like, wow, like muscle really does weigh more than fat. Like, yeah. And it was again like, because this is all new to me. Remember, I hadn't been through that process of continuing to working out, and then the scales going back up again. So yeah, honestly, I always say to everyone, like, get rid of your scales. Like, if you have them, like, put them in the boot of your car, or put them, I don't know, like in a cupboard or behind boxes or in your garage, or just like throw it in the bin, because scales are in no way a measure of your progress on the Isagenics program at all, full stop. And if you're looking for kilos to be, you know, a measure of success, like, you know, you'll end up being disappointed. I mean, you know, I was really, really upset. Like, I was like, what do you mean I'm 80 kilos again? What do you mean? Like, I've done all this work, and not realizing that, yes, I had done all this work, and that's why I was, you know, 79, 80 kilos again. So, you know, really photos in centimeters. And of course, you know, if you do like a, you know, DEXA scan or a body scan analysis, they're your measures of success. Scales are just not going to, are not going to leave you feeling, if they're your only measure of success, and the measure of success means the numbers getting smaller, you're really doing yourself a disservice, because, you know, this is not what this program's about. And that was a learning experience for me. Definitely.
Yeah, because I found, like, initially when I started Isagenics, I got to 57 kilos, right? So I lost 12 kilos. Sorry, not good at math. 12 kilos. And then, like, that was less than what I was when I was 15. And then I started going to the gym, lifting a lot of weights, right? And I am not getting past 61 kilos. And I'm like, what's going on, right? Like, and it's pissing me off. And so thank you for saying that, because I'm like, I don't think I can actually get down any further. Like, I think, you know, what did you say? It's desserts. It's not the desserts, it's the gym. I prefer to think that. But wearing, you know, at that particular time that I'm talking about, I was wearing the same, like the size 8 and stuff, or size 10, but not seeing it on the scales. So thank you for saying that.
You're welcome. That's awesome. That, yeah. And I just say, people, like, you know, if you're following the program, and, you know, if you're eating well and you're exercising, trust your body. Just trust it. Like, it has so much wisdom and intelligence that you've got no idea. So really trust your body. It knows exactly what weight you should be at, you know. You know, just, if you want to, like, go lose a kilo, like, just go to the toilet and then weigh yourself again. Seriously. It just doesn't mean anything. I know Lisa hates the scales as well.
I was about to say that, actually, that just fits in so well with Lisa's Crush Resolutions video. So yeah, very.
You know, like, it's something I had to learn. Like, I had to go through that. I had to learn that. You know, I'm like everyone. I was like everyone else. Yeah. Smaller number, better results. It's not true.
Yeah, well, Richard put on a kilo, didn't he? In the last 16-week challenge. Put on a kilo, and I'm like, man, you are a ball of yeah, you're a ball of muscle. Of course. Like, duh. But he looked at the scales and goes, I put on weight like that. And I went, well, yeah, you know, yeah, you're a ball of muscle.
And this is also why, you know, when you're writing your IsaBody essay, really focus on the impact that Isagenics has had on your life. You know, you like pop your numbers in there, but they're not looking at the numbers. You know, they're looking at your story and how has this journey transformed, you know, the different areas of your life. You know, it could even be with your children, your relationship, or mentally, emotionally, like, whatever the impact is, really, really connect into all of those and make that the focus of your essay. Not like, oh, you know, I was hitting PB and, you know, now I can do 700 kilos on the leg press, you know, like, it's just like, great, but, you know, that's not going to leave them, you know, moved and inspired.
Good. Yeah, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Awesome. So, Lisa or Renee, do you have any questions for Catherine, or no? All good? Renee, I'll just take that as a no. She hasn't taken yourself off mute. I can't see you. All good.
All good. Perfect. And
all right,
like, yeah, and you're all welcome to reach out to me on Facebook. You know, if you think of something later, or yeah, you know, like if you'd like me to read over your IsaBody essays, you know, at the end of the challenge, I'm more than happy to do that and give you support. I actually back Justin Rigby. Yeah, he got. I gave him that same offer and had a look over his essay and like I kind of tore it to shreds. Not in a bad way, but it was just like, you know, you could see the places where he skimmed over, and I was like, there, that's what you talk about. There, that's what, you know. And all of a sudden, you know, cracked him open, and he, you know, I was like, you know what, I reckon you're he's skimming over. There's something there that you're not telling us. And then he really opened up, and it was like, and he sent me back this essay, and I was like, holy shit, that's it. Yeah, so I'm more than happy to help you guys out with that as well.
Catherine, I'm just sending you a friend request right now.
Awesome.
Love it. Well, thank you so much, Catherine. That was awesome. It was awesome to actually see you again, because it's been a while.
I know. Crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, I suppose we'll end it there, and we've recorded it, so we'll pop that up into the group soon. Thanks, Lise, for that. So yeah, awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. So lovely to meet you all. Lovely to see you again, Lisa.
Thank you, Catherine.
You too, lovely.
Thank you, Mel, for organising.
Thanks, Mel.
And for those of you in Melbourne, I'll see you at the NYKO as well. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Make sure you give her a hug for me.
Night, everyone.
All right. Good night.
Yeah. Bye.